Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets.
Got the Mongo beer.
All right. Welcome
What kind
back.
of beer is that?
It is KC beer, pure Pilsner.
Oh, boy.
So it's a Pilsner made here in KC.
from
It's like
the
a
yuppie
German-made beer.
Okay.
It's not that yuppie. It ain't really. It's not an
Not too
IPA
yuppie.
or nothing like that.
Okay.
No.
Hey, we out here
The Broncos are back.
in
Are they
London.
back?
In London, baby.
After a bit of tea time.
Does that call for a cheers, mate?
High knees on the foot. Dude, come on,
Don't
man.
insult my queen or my country.
Is he going to have to
You've
do high
insulted
knees on every
my-
plane ride?
Every plane.
Well,
Does he
dude,
do them on
I-
the ride home?
He should do them in the car. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Why
I
do you
mean,
think Bradley Chubb got traded?
Hey, just calm
He's
down.
like, fuck
all right?
these high
Yeah,
knees.
I'm not taking
out.
one more of these fucking plane rides with Russell
Yeah,
Wilson.
hey,
Get me
he
the hell
doesn't
out of
need
here.
That
to,
dude hit
man.
my
He
shoulder
gone.
3 fucking times.
He gone. Nah, fuck him, dude. That was a beautiful performance, dude. I mean, we came out to play, dude. There was no point in that game that anyone. I mean, when Justin Simmons picks off Sunshine in the end zone. I mean,
That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about. Yeah.
What a dumb throw, man. But when you have the best defense in football, you know, throwing those disguises out there, you're going to get them, man. Like it
Maybe
really,
past tense.
Huh?
Maybe past tense. Maybe you had the best.
They know what
defense.
they're doing. Trust me. Old Hackett knows what he's doing as the offensive guy, trading away a guy like that on defense. It's not like our team for the first time all year kind of came together and won a big game, and you know we should build off of that. No, instead let's give up. I know later we're going to get into the trades.
Best player on the defense at worst.
Yeah, we don't
right?
need to.
Yeah, we're going to talk trades in the second part today, but
I would put Simmons up in that category, though. I would, you know, but arguably the second best player. Yeah. But hey, off the schneid, baby. Off the fucking schneid. And what I really liked was Russ's hair gel. That's cool. You know what I mean?
Notice.
Oh, yeah. He always seemed to he has a Jerry Curl thing going now. He kind of looks like
Nice.
a douche.
Trying to actually look black.
But it like
looks like himself, eh?
yeah, well, dude. Yeah, but I don't know. We won. And on a side note, shout out to this guy in London was rocking a Broncos Elway jersey with a Red Sox hat on. And I was like, this guy, whoever that man, that's my hero right there.
He should be a fan of the show.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I'm sure he's seen it. You know what I mean?
He used to be.
Yeah, well, fuck him. But
anyways,
that was cool. I saw, I was like, man, no fucking way is a guy in London rocking a Sox hat with a Broncos jersey.
I want to focus a little bit more. Jimmy, you mentioned that Lawrence pick he threw on 1st and goal at the 1 yard line. He's rolling out to his right. He's trying to get it to Marvin Jones in the back of the end zone.
A little skiddly-doo.
If he doesn't see Simmons and throws it right to Simmons, but even if Simmons isn't there, the guy behind Simmons, the Broncos defender, is going to intercept it too, man.
Yeah, that's how good our defense is.
It was a terrible
Double
throw.
covered,
how do you make that throw on 1st and goal at the 1? How do you if you're a smart quarterback, you just
television.
Don't do that shit.
Keyword smart quarterback.
That?
I don't think he's smart quarterback.
Before that, they had 3rd or 2nd and goal, and Simmons was beat, dude, because he was going after Lawrence. He was like the spy. He was going after Lawrence.
And he rushes in.
And he came at him, but then once he realized, he grabbed and held the shit out of the receiver.
Yeah, and they took the penalty.
And so then it's like, dude, to be a leader and like, all right, I'm going to hold for sure, give him 1st and goal. And then to come back on that and make that play, man, I was like, damn, that's a badass play. And he also had a real bad taunting play earlier, I think, on that drive. I don't know if you recall that one at all, which was fucking dumb. For a guy to wear a C on his jersey and to take a taunting call after a tackle, it's like, and it was, he was talking shit, getting back to the line, but he took a step towards the guy, like a half a step. And it was like, man, that was a bullshit call. But he took that half a step. You know what I mean? I guess
those calls suck.
Yeah, the announcers even said that.
I got to confess, I caught up for the first half of this game through highlights and hearsay because I was sound asleep.
I guarantee
at 8:30 Sunday morning. And it was Halloween weekend. It was a little bit of a tough London game.
I was hobbling wobblies by about 7:45, dude.
Yeah.
They were going.
I couldn't even drink beers during the noon games, man. I was just. It took me a while to get back to full health.
By noon, I was approaching that point.
Yeah, ready for a nap.
Yeah, right. Dude,
anything else on that Broncos game? They're 3-5.
There was a personal foul, low hit call also on a running back. And I think it was ETN, but it might have been. But what happened was the blocker was rolling out, the offensive lineman. And our guy comes in. I think it was Kareem Jackson, but
you're not allowed to do that anymore. This was a rule change, right. I think, before last season.
But dude, he took out, he literally hit him right in the belt and took out him and the running back the same time. Yeah. And it was like, dude, what a fucking play. And instead they threw the flag on that bullshit. Yeah. And I'm like, man,
you're not allowed to go low on a pulling blocker.
But dude, if you watch this highlight, it's like, what do you want me to do, man? Like,
get fucking pancaked by the offensive lineman is what the rules say. That's what they say, or get out the fucking way. Man. That's what the cornerback or safety in the open field is. Those are their two options now, to either run around him or just get pancaked.
We ate that dub.
Trying to get a holding call.
That W.
Yeah.
We ate that dub.
Yeah. So
it was the Thursday night game.
Thursday night game. Yeah, we do got to talk about that, Brad, because your Ravens, the Ravens, I was feeling all right at halftime. I was still like, it's only 10-3 and our defense has shut them down up until halftime. I was like, I don't know if this lasts, because the Ravens play calling in the first half was dumb.
Ooh,
it was dumb.
It's been that way the whole year, though.
But they threw it 30 times in the first half, Brad. And you heard what my concern was when we previewed this game last week. I was worried about our rookie corner and our special teams player playing corner, trying to stop some of these outside runs. And in the second half, the Ravens come out. They run a couple end arounds to Duvernay. They both get like 17, 20 yards. They get the ball to Kenyon Drake outside. They get Lamar going in the run game. And it was easy for the Ravens in the second half. They just had to stop being dumb and run the ball. That's really as simple as it was. Once
Mark
they started
Andrews
doing that, it was
hurt,
game over.
really threw them off, though, because I think they really could have dominated.
But they threw the ball more when your best receiver gets hurt?
No. When I think their game plan coming out was they were going to throw the ball, make you guys take a step back, and then start running, which it kind of happened anyways, but because they were doing whatever they wanted before Andrews got hurt. Yeah. Like those three catch, he was wide open. There was nobody close to him. It just not even, it's more, I guess, for me, the Lamar, just even on like an average game, he's still amazing. That second half, he was perfect. Like, I don't know what more you could ask from a quarterback.
There's a couple of those runs by Lamar in the second half that it's just like, you kind of got to tip your cap a little bit. I mean, Shaq Barrett, that injury kind of swung the game a little bit too. I don't know that it would have saved it for the Bucs. I don't think it would have, but we lose Shaq Barrett for the season now. And he was the one making the plays on all the read option plays, whether Lamar handed it to Gus Edwards or kept it. Shaquille Barrett was making those plays to shut that down in the first half. And, not good for the Bucs.
It's just the offense seems so boring and obvious. It's like we're going to throw it every single play to Evans and Godwin. If not, we're going to try to run with Leonard.
Yeah, maybe we check it down to Leonard or Rachaad White. That's been the whole season, though. Was it not? The problems I explained before this game, was it not like the exact same thing that we try to run the ball on every first and 10?
If not that, to do the play action in there every now and again. But
we run the ball on first and 10. It gets 0 to 2 yards, usually. Maybe 1 out of 5 times Fournette runs for a 9 or a 10-yard gain, but never breaks anything more than that.
Yeah, can you guys bring Bruce back? That's what you need.
Bruce Arians. I mean, he's in the building. I just think he's done, man. He doesn't want to do it anymore. We could use somebody to kick everybody's ass.
Maybe Tom doesn't either.
Yeah.
He's just like,
I can't really blame Bowles though. I think
the divorce was official this week, right? It was after they lost Thursday that he's officially divorced, right?
Yeah, it's Friday, out of the way. I haven't completely given up on the Bucs. I haven't completely given up on the Bucs, but what I need Brady to be better because there's still too many of these throws on the dirt and too many plays where he's throwing it to one spot and the receiver is going to another spot. And I know Evans and Godwin are smart enough and hard enough workers for that not to be the fact that they just like fucked up telling what coverage it is. It's just Tom hasn't spent enough time with them this year. Tom isn't good enough
crazy
right now.
Yeah,
and even when the communication is good, the throws are inaccurate. It's just it's been like that the whole year. I mean, you guys haven't watched every snap.
No,
I have.
No, but you see the highlights, and he's doinking one into him.
Yeah, and he's come on. I mean, coming into camp and shit. We heard how he looked like shit. You know, we shouldn't be surprised.
You can look at him in an interview and tell he looks like
a lot of time.
But that was exactly. And like not even in camp, but like who knows what was going through his like. You know, this all surfaced right when like the public. But dude, if you're in a relationship with someone like that's coming, you know what you're dealing with, and you know how it's going to come out. And then if you're not playing good, it's only going to get worse, man. And then,
you know what, Jimmy? I went through a divorce when my parents got divorced in the 6th grade. I didn't let it affect my school. I still maintained my grades, kept my head down,
kept your C average.
Was focused.
In 6th grade,
I know, Brad. I had a fucking A average in 6th grade.
Listen,
Jimmy was in those classes.
I know.
Jimmy probably wouldn't have passed if it wasn't for me helping him out in some of these classes.
True.
A's
a lot of the times we weren't allowed to look at each other. But the next year I think that didn't, they took Matt away. That was with
Matt Crush was gone.
It got a little more wild, but Wes was cool. You know what I'm saying? They got a little more wild. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a mixture of all that shit. And I don't think there's that much talent around. I mean, you shut down Evans. I don't think Lenny Fournette is like the guy we knew 5 years ago.
Rashad White, that rookie running back, had some flashes. He could become a bigger
good
piece.
Things about that.
He did. That was his best game, Brad. I know it wasn't like anything crazy.
But I just don't see any you don't see, and like you're saying, like if he's not hitting the throws, dude, how old is 46, 47? It's like
45 right now, I believe.
It's like, dude, how long can that? Don't you ever just want to take a year off, But like, it really is like, how long can you fucking do that shit, man? You know what I mean? The throws are and when you're looking that weak and like,
he has no excuses. This is his receiving core he wanted. Mike Evans and Godwin.
But not anymore.
Then he personally requested Julio and Gage. He personally requested those two guys this offseason.
That was a bad. I personally
haven't done anything.
Debo and Devontae, and I'm 1-8. So
I was kind of surprised we got rid of. I was kind of surprised we got rid of Tyler Johnson, because even in that Super Bowl year, Tyler Johnson was an important part of the playoff run. Like he was kind of the third guy. As much as Antonio Brown was, as far as like making a catch on 3rd down, moving the sticks, and then they
keep Perriman and Scotty Miller instead of him.
Yeah,
Scotty Miller,
and then they brought in Russell Gage, and I guess Tyler Johnson was a casualty. Now, what I don't know, being a fan, is maybe Tyler Johnson didn't come into camp in shape or had an injury in camp that was holding him back from making the team this year. But I like that guy. This would have been his 3rd season. And he had shown improvement his first.
You're a sucker for mid-round draft picks. He was a 4th or 5th rounder, wasn't he?
I think he was a 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, see, you followed. Yep.
Who was that guy, man? That one
guy. Brian Edwards. Brian Edwards, who has done nothing even for the Falcons this year. He's done 0 for the Atlanta Falcons.
Dude, fuck it.
Let's go get him. Is the trade deadline? Is it closed yet? Can the Bucs trade for Brian Edwards? That would have been the guy I would have wanted. Was Brian Edwards?
He stayed here, baby.
Yeah, that was a big. Yeah. I think that says a lot.
But to end the Brady talk, and then I got to segue here, but. I went to O'Reilly's to buy a car battery this weekend. In Kansas City, I run into a guy wearing an old school Buccaneers hat. And I was like, oh, hey, dude, it's nice to see another Buccaneers fan in Kansas City. Don't see him often, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I know it's a rough year. I wouldn't mind having Jameis back next season. And he's like, and this shows what this guy knows about football, because he's like, oh yeah, Jameis, he's out there killing it in New Orleans right now. And I was like, yeah, have a nice day, sir.
Hey, that sums up the smarts of the Kansas City Chief fan.
That's what I was just.
Well, this is a Bucs fan in Kansas City.
It's
obviously
just not
the
region. That whole region, something's in the water.
It poisons you.
Them down.
Is it getting to me?
You better be using.
Am I less sharp every year?
You better be using a Brita. You better be purifying that shit.
The more teams added to the parlay.
No.
I know. I drink the tap water straight. I like the taste of just straight tap water on ice.
See, you got that Chiefs taste already.
Yeah,
you're fucked.
That's fair. I mean, Mahomes, fuck them.
What the game I want to get into next is the 49ers and the Rams. But before I do that, because we're on the topic of how much the Bucs are in trouble.
You gonna read a sponsor?
No. Well, yeah, KC Beer, local beer. The KC Beer is the sponsor of the podcast. But who are you guys most worried about? Let me ask you first, Jimmy. Most worried about the Packers, the Rams, or the Bucs?
To make the playoffs? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm worried about all of them, obviously.
Packers.
You're most worried about the Packers.
Yeah, out of those three, I'd be most worried about them.
You don't think there's any path for the Packers to make the playoffs? Because what I've seen, I don't.
You're saying most worried about, like, if you were
to make
playing
it.
or right on. Oh shit! For that, I would say, I'd go Rams there, just because of like Stafford's history with injuries and shit. But I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough. I thought
they're all 3-5. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I thought you were asking who do I worry about the most? Like is the most threatening out of those three? And I think the Packers,
the Packers, you could actually see them getting it together.
Yeah, right.
Really,
I just think
defense,
their defense. Yeah, their defense is legit, man. So. And it's Aaron fucking Rodgers, man. I trust him more than I do Stafford, even though the Rams defense is so good too. Maybe the Bucs are like the least out of those three to me. I don't know.
Is the Rams defense still that good, man? Like
anytime
it's just Ramsey and Donald and a bunch of
and Bobby Wagner.
Yeah,
is Bobby Wagner really like? What have we seen him do this year? Except for crush that fucking protester.
I don't think
running
the defense
is the.
I think it's more they don't have a run game. They banked on Cam Akers. He's been flaky, and then they didn't trade for anybody. The deadline came and passed.
Yeah,
I thought Kareem Hunt for sure was going to be a Ram.
Would have made sense, wouldn't it have?
I really
have shit to give away now.
You know, Cooper's banged up. He's got the bulky ankle. I think they're in the worst shape. I think, like Jimmy's saying, I think the Packers at least know their role, run the ball, play good defense. I think the Bucs, they get healthy. You can, defense is still strong.
They're scary. Anytime you have Tom fucking Brady on your team.
Right. Well, I just think the Ravens really caught them on a short week too, where, the whole secondary was banged up. Not that the Ravens, we dealt with a ton of injuries too, losing our best receiver and tight end, but it's just Thursday nights suck on the early week.
They do. But the Ravens dominated the second half as the 49ers did against the Rams.
Do you have more faith in the Rams than the other two that we talked, Matt?
No, I would have had the Rams as the team I would pick to not make the playoffs. I'm like most sure the Rams don't make the playoffs this year. One, they're already behind the 49ers and the Seahawks in that division, so they're fighting uphill. Mm-hmm. Stafford has not looked good all year.
Fucking cronky.
I trust Rodgers and Brady to figure it out more than I trust the Rams either finding a running game or Stafford doing it all on his own. I don't think Stafford's good enough to do it right now without a running game. And it's really Cooper Kupp and nobody else. And who else are they going to get back? Van Jefferson? That doesn't make me feel any better.
No. And it's boring, but it comes. What are you saying?
I was going to ask if the one dude hasn't done anything. I haven't paid any attention to the Rams.
Allen Robinson had his best game against the 49ers, but it wasn't much.
We're talking like 5 for 60 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's been disappointing.
I think it comes back though, but Whitworth retired. and then they replaced him with this Note Boom guy. He's been gone for the season. He got hurt.
What's his name?
Note Boom.
Yeah,
it is a good offensive tackle name, but he isn't. He isn't doing the job this year.
You're third best left tackle at this point.
Ooh,
I mean,
yeah, that's bad.
And in that division, that's not a good
and with
thing.
that hanging over your head, you're the Super Bowl champs, dude. Like you're
right.
Of course, they're trying to lay you the fuck out, man. And, like you don't got. Yeah, that's bad. Niners look like a home game, dude.
Oh, I know. Yeah. We called that though. We said it would be.
Yeah. Right. But it was worse than the NFC Championship game, dude. Because like I'm telling you, in that NFC Championship game, Kroenke paid extras that would normally be in a shitty fucking TV show.
Oh, easily.
To give him a Ram shirt and like stand in the crowd, you know? Be dope, man.
Yeah. Well,
I think if I applied as an extra, I'd probably get like the cat, like they'd want to put me.
That's probably why he did it, because he was getting people to do it for $20, and then they were just sleeping outside the stadium like they do in California.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, do this in my backyard.
To cap this off, though, the Rams go to Tampa to play the Bucs next week. That's kind of a loser leaves town game because you go to 3-6. If you go to 3-6, it really is putting you in a bad spot.
Not near
to run enough game. True. For us, it's less worrisome. If the Rams lose, they're basically fucked. If we lose, we could fight and claw to win the division at like 9-8, right?
Yeah, right.
If we go to 3-6, then we'd have to win 6 of our last.
Yeah. Be careful those dangerous Falcons that are 500. Jesus Christ. That fucking division. Hey, we play hard.
But wasn't that like the best game of the day, though? That Falcons-Panthers game, how it turned out?
Only because DJ Moore pulled off like the classic college fuck up.
Yeah.
Catch the Hail Mary, celebrate, rip your helmet off so it's a 50-yard extra point, fuck your kicker over, and then lose in overtime.
What if DJ Moore would have gotten traded? What if that would have been his last game as a Panther? I lost it. I mean, I won the game for you. I lost it.
Punishment that they
now I'm out of here.
You win it, you lose it.
Yeah, we're not trading your ass anymore. You're suffering through this whole fucking season.
You're not going to Green Bay. How dare you?
Fucking Chubb had the dopest celebration with the tea drinking, and then that was like the last image. Like a lot of the things for the Broncos fan page on like Facebook and shit were like Broncos win, and it's just him and who I can't remember who else, but they were doing like they sat
London
down
tea celebration,
but they sat down after a sack and did it, dude. And it was a holding call. There was a flag, but they knew it was holding. That's even better when you can do that and you know, like fuck it, dude, we're good. And they did that, and it was like that is like my last image of that guy, man. Bullshit, but I mean, the Atlanta game was good.
DJ Brown fucked up, but Pinheiro misses that extra point that ends up being like a 45-yard extra point. But then he gets a 33-yarder in overtime after Mariota throws a pick. He misses that one too. Yeah. So even if DJ Moore fucks up, but the kicker still gets another chance at it in overtime. And it was a field goal to win because it was after a Mariota pick.
That's frustrating.
I enjoyed the hell out of that game, man.
Yeah,
I watched it.
I think I liked. This might have been 3. The Vikings Cardinals. I thought that was a little more.
That was kind of stupid, sloppy too. So
yeah, I mean,
the Vikings
no defense.
Well, the Vikings had like 10 opportunities to close out the game, and we're just like, nah, we're just gonna keep them right there at the distance where Kyler has a chance. And Kyler couldn't pull it off, but. That Vikings team, even though they're 6-1, to me, it's still, and I picked them to win the division this year, but it's still Kirk Cousins, and they still have that same sort of like late game shakiness where you always feel like they're going to find a way to blow it. I still feel that same way about the Vikings, and they'll do it in the playoffs. They'll blow it.
Hawkinson, they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot to mention this on the Broncos the first kickoff of the game. We kicked to Washington, the guy that fucking got pushed into the last game, or 2 games ago, the
punt returner. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's fucking right under it. And the guy in front of him, I think it was Salbert, catches it right in front. Like he's backing into him and catches it instead of letting Washington get it. He catches it and takes off. Like he gets tackled in like 2 yards, but it's like, man, it was on like our 3-yard line. And you could see like Washington's under it, like ready to return. And instead of like going to block, dumbass it was again, man.
I'm checking out your special teams coach, see what he looks like.
Yeah.
Gonna be a
Probably
loser.
got coordinator face.
Well, if he's a special teams coach, he's
right
most definitely got coordinator. Rocco Levo.
Hey,
right after that, the first play of the game, Russ dropped back on a fucking play action and hits it's like a comeback route. Dude, he looks him on the whole time, and the guy completely dropped a pick six on the first fucking play of the game. So like 2 plays in a row, could have been a fumble and then a fucking
Yeah, Broncos special teams coach actually looks like he's like Khabib. I can't say the UFC fighter's name. Khabib, Armenianskin, whatever. Just call him Khabib. He looks like Khabib's uncle, Brock Olivo, the Broncos special teams coach.
It was the.
I don't want to share screen because we might get copyrighted for sharing Brock Olivo's
How
face.
dare we do that again? Yeah.
But I had to throw that out there because I was like, man. I remember the game starting. I'm like, oh no! Why is he backing into him? And then they catch that. So then it's like, okay, just get the announcers are like, get some consistent plays going. Get some confidence for Russ, and he drops back. And it's like you're watching a guy just in stride, and he just like right-handed, but he throws it, and it's just like 2 guys collapse on the play, nearly pick it off. Like, I can't believe it wasn't picked. Yeah. And the announcers are like, oh, no. You can't start like that. Oh, dude.
No.
Got the dub.
Yeah.
I had these notes in here.
Jimmy, no worries. We don't need to stay in sequence. But, yeah, I totally feel your pain watching the Broncos offense because the Bucs might be like a step better than them, but there's still plenty of those same feelings where you just got to lean back and be like, guys, like, is it really this hard to know what we're doing? Because sometimes,
go on, man.
Sometimes I don't get it. Like Brady and Evans have played together 3 years, and Brady's screaming at him when Evans continues his route, and Brady throws it 10 yards short of him. But it's like almost the same looking play, and Brady throws it deep, and Evans stops short, and Brady still screams at him for doing it both ways. So, like, which way do we want it? And if you're not here in training camp to practice with Mike Evans, Tom Brady, then it's your fault. It's your fault that the receiver doesn't know what he's doing because you haven't been here to allow him to be able to read your mind, which you need to do to an extent. If there's routes, and Brad, this stuff, but there's routes that are dictated by what the umbrella coverage is. So some routes you might want to cut off.
Yeah. I mean, you do need to know
the quarterback is going to see that.
Yeah. Or at least not thinking, but what you're reading, what keys you're looking for. And it's not there. We've complained in years earlier this year, not years earlier. But Godwin, I mean, nothing is beyond the line of scrimmage with him. I get it. It's his safety blanket.
He had that big 40-yarder, but that was in the first quarter. It might have been the first drive.
I mean, and compared to you see some of the explosive, like the Eagles this week. I mean, talk about fun to watch.
AJ Brown just fucking disgracing the Pittsburgh Steelers. But that was awesome.
Like
I loved
the whole offense did what they wanted to, pretty much. I mean, they just marched up and down on them.
Yeah.
It just, you see what the top tier is with like Buffalo, Philly. And it's like, what the fuck has happened to some of these? We've talked the Rams, your squad, the Bucs, like even the Colts. I mean, fuck, like talk about teams that were dynamic last year that are just not there this year.
Just doesn't look sharp enough, especially not 8 weeks in. Maybe we deal with this for 3 or 4 weeks
at this point.
Yeah, not halfway through the season that you're still not sharp. But yeah, you mentioned. I just want to touch on AJ Brown a little bit more. Because the Titans are 5-2 now. What could they be if AJ Brown was still around? Because the Titans aren't a real threat to anybody. I mean, survival pool next week. The Titans are going to the Kansas City to play the Chiefs on Sunday night. I'm picking the Chiefs in survival pool. I'm not worried about the Titans going to Arrowhead with no passing game and beating the Chiefs. Just not worried about it. If AJ Brown was there, that game, it's a lot different because there's an actual threat there. And I just don't like that for the Titans. They spent money on Robert Woods. They trade AJ Brown for what did they get? A first round pick, a second round pick? I don't even know if they got that good of a deal
for AJ.
Yeah, for AJ.
I think
Brown.
they got that late first. That's how they got Treylon Burks.
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, you look at their schedule. They've got Indy twice, Washington, Vegas, and the Giants. They lost to the Giants in Buffalo, but your next 5 weeks at Kansas City, Broncos, at Green Bay, Cincy, at Philly. Good luck, Tennessee.
Yeah, they just have been scraping by in the AFC South is what they've been doing.
They're Sunday night with KC, obviously this week, and then they're the Thursday night after playing Denver. So, I mean, maybe they go 1-4 in the next stretch. I think they're coming back to life.
And don't get me wrong, I like Vrabel. It's just that with where all the other pieces of the Tennessee team is at, how does it make sense to trade away an elite receiver like AJ Brown when you have Derrick Henry there, middle to end of Derrick Henry's career? You have Ryan Tannehill there. I know he's not outstanding, but it's the middle to the end of his career. So they're just like giving up on the whole regime to an extent? Because why else would you do it?
Yeah, I wonder who they thought could be that guy.
I mean, the rookie they drafted, but he's not.
But you don't. That's a tough ask.
You don't
like came into camp complaining of asthma. I mean, that's not a great start.
Yeah, and you got to take it. I mean, with a guy like that, you're probably going to have to go into Arrowhead at some point and win. Even you got to do it in the regular season
or to Buffalo. Or to Buffalo.
Yeah, right. But either way, you got to have a receiver that can kind of weather the storm. I mean, I think when the Bills got Diggs, like they showed that they knew that. You know what I mean? Like they went out and got a guy that
worked out good for him, didn't it?
Playoff, a little bit. Yeah, man. I mean, So I think
completely changed Josh Allen's career, really. Once Diggs got there. I mean, I'm not saying it's the only reason, but it certainly was a huge helping hand to Josh Allen
because he's been he's been a monster there. So.
What else?
Tennessee's got to be the luckiest team in the league. They get 2 Thursday nights this year.
So they got one against the Jags, one against the Texans.
So they get Thursday night, the 17th at Green Bay, and then week 17 they get Dallas on a Thursday night in December. So 5-day rest on that one and 4-day rest on their other Thursday night. So I guess
either one is after a bye.
Somebody off, and you with a back like Derrick Henry, that's like worst case scenario. That's the only guy that's winning your games, and you're gonna just pound him into the ground.
Yeah, that's true. It's fucked up.
And that was another tangent. Just I had to get in. We were talking AJ Brown, and I had to bring that up.
AJ Brown's got to be thankful he got traded. Get the fuck out of there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, show what you can really do.
I mean, yeah, maybe the way the Titans thought about it, it's like we reached our ceiling that year we made the AFC Championship with AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, and Tannehill. And it's like, how lucky would we have to be to do it again and after get over the top? Tannehill.
Fucking
Ryan Tannehill.
Those teams that played the fucking the Chiefs that year they won, dude. The Chiefs the year they won.
That Mariota game that they won in Arrowhead was just bonkers. Did I say Arrowhead? Really? Mariota, Arrowhead.
But
where Mariota threw that ball.
Game ever, dude. Oh my God.
Mariota threw that ball. It hit somebody's fucking face mask. Mariota caught it and ran in.
Yep.
It hit Darrelle Revis.
Darrelle Revis played for the Chiefs. I don't even remember that.
Yes, that was Darrelle Revis that dropped that ball.
Welcome back to reality.
Right off his hands, right back to Mariota.
That game was stupid.
Mariota. No bullshit. That was the first game I ever bet with a bookie, man. It was like the best. That was so dope. And the dude was a huge Chiefs fan too, so it made it all the only that
motivated it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this will be great. I woke up that morning and I'm like, hey, I got Titans +7, and he's like, you for real? And I was like, yeah, dude, this is my boss, and he paid me in cash at work, so he knew like this motherfucker, and I was like,
this is the origin story.
I'm like, I work for free, dude. Let's go. Like, hey, if you think you're going to win, and dude, it was great, man. That was going into work and being like, yeah, just give me double that too, man. Like it was a $50 bet. I'm like, dude, give me Yeah.
Yeah. What would I have made on my shift? You just pay me twice that, right? Because that's how you worked it out, Mr. Bookie, correct?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, yeah,
Mr.
dickhead, yeah, Mr. Books. Yeah. Man. But that was the first bet ever with a bookie, and he threw it off the guys. They were down like 21-3 at halftime, I think. Because that was Gruden's last time calling a game for ESPN too. Like they were.
That's pretty cool. I don't even remember that part of it.
Yeah, he was walking in. And he said at Arrowhead they were all giving him shit, going like Raiders, like fuck you, Gruden, because normally he was used to like everyone loving him, and he was like, apparently they know the deal I just did, man. Like they know the paperwork I just filled out because everyone's been on my ass today, man. He's like, this isn't the friendly confines of Arrowhead Stadium anymore, It was awesome, dude. Yeah, but
that is good.
Yeah.
Well,
that was another tangent.
That's it. And we can talk some more like recap of week 8 in part 2 after we take a quick break here. But one team that deserves a shout out is the Seahawks because we didn't mention them yet. And they just continue to surprise us. They kind of pulled away from the Giants. Really a convincing win against the Giants, which
fuck them.
I might have had the Giants as my dog of the week.
Or Danny Dimes showing his true colors.
But is it Danny Dimes' fault that the fucking
Dimes?
My voice is just getting out of control.
We're under
the punt returner fumbled it twice, Brad.
Come back. Cheers.
Cheers, y'all. It's going to cut us out.